Hey there guys, the Uncensored Gnome here, and in today's video we are going to be discussing something that has sparked up quite a bit of controversy surrounding Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So for those of you who don't know what it is, or just didn't read the title for some reason, Kylo Ren will be getting an appearance change in Episode 8. If you are one of those people who didn't remember, like myself included, Kylo Ren got a scar at the end of Episode 7 due to his battle with Rey, and the scar was pretty bad and went up the side of his nose. However, in Episode 8 he will be getting just a tiny little cut going up his eye and his eyebrow. So at first when I heard the news, I was like, okay, whatever, I honestly really don't care. And I might even say I was a little bit glad, because the initial image everyone was using to reference the scar in Episode 7 was really bad and really ugly and didn't really do the scar justice. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, fine, you know, whatever, I really don't care, it's just a scar. But after seeing some concept art or some fan art, I actually really like the original one better. The original one looks a lot cooler and a lot more character defining. You know, in Episode 8, one of the things I wish they had done was not have taken off Kylo Ren's mask until the end when he kills Han Solo. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you somehow haven't seen that movie yet. But in Episode 7, I wish he would have kept the mask on to show that he had assumed the identity of Kylo Ren. Also because it kind of just prematurely gave away that Han Solo was gonna die. Like, as soon as Snoke said Han Solo is your father, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's gonna die in this movie. But you see, like, at the end, if he would have kept the mask on and then, like, took it off and then killed his father, it would have shown that once he took off the mask and once he was finally able to transfer to the dark side, or I guess he still has sort of a pull to the light in the dark, but once he was finally able to make that move and kill his father, that showed that he had finally become Kylo Ren and was no longer Ben Solo. And then you jump to Episode 8 where he no longer wears the mask, as we know from various art where we see just his face, and that even in the trailer we saw his mask broken. But by doing this, you do a character development where you show in Episode 8, like I said, he has assumed the identity of Kylo Ren and is no longer Ben Solo. And the original scar was like a battle wound, something that would constantly remind him of that day and what he did, and would always keep him in check to the dark side. It also is very character defining in appearance. So many people have had that overused eyebrow scar, but when Anakin had it, it was defining in itself in that he was the first one in Star Wars to have that scar. And you know, it also looked pretty cool with his yellow eyes. But this new one that Kylo Ren has and is very similar to Anakin's just looks like something that a bad boy would put on for an accessory. It doesn't look like a battle wound, and it isn't as character defining because so many people have that same scar. And you know, it's also not as noticeable as the one going across his nose. Like I said, when I was watching the Episode 8 teaser trailer, I didn't even notice it until everyone started to point it out. I gotta say though, his eyes do look pretty cool reflecting his lightsaber light. And you know, I do understand that maybe the prosthetics would have been hard to do, and that maybe Adam Driver wouldn't have been able to as easily act when you have something, you know, so close to your eye and going up across your nose that isn't supposed to be naturally there. But as much money as Disney spends in this movie, you'd think that they'd be able to CGI it. Now of course it hasn't been really explained as not wanting to CGI it or not wanting to do the prosthetics. Rian Johnson has just simply said on Twitter that he thought the original scar looked very silly. And because we only saw the scar in Episode 7 for a little bit, it really doesn't make a difference because in Episode 7 we're going to be seeing the new one for an entire movie. Which, I mean, I kind of understand because like I said, I didn't even notice that the scar had moved and I didn't even remember that he had a scar at the end of Episode 7. But when you have hardcore fans looking at these trailers constantly in this film and they're seeing that, oh, the scar changed, well, the news is going to get out there and people are going to actually notice. You know, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal watching the movie. I don't think it's going to change him that much. I do think that the scar, the original one, would have been a lot more defining than this one. But I mean, either way, the new scar is happening whether I like it or not. I just hope that they redeem Kylo Ren and everyone in the First Order because my god, they were so... in Episode 7. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Like I said, I originally wasn't going to make a video about it, but then I started seeing fan art that showed better angles of the scar, and I was like, oh my god, this looks really cool and a lot better than the new one. But let me know what you guys think about the scar down below in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on this video, add it to your favorites, and to subscribe. And stay tuned for my Who Are Rey's Parents speculation video coming out on May the 4th. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. The Uncensored Gnome, signing out.